Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a run cycle. We're going to use um, this rig here, the horse, and yeah, I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So first things first is I've got this bit of video here. I'm going to try and work out how long the run cycle should be in terms of frames. Now I've already, if I went into the movie inspector here, it's 29.97 frames, and I have to change my frame rate, which presently is at 24. It does actually have 29.97, but I'm going to change it to 30, which is, so you do that first thing. It just so you have it running at the same speed, otherwise your frames will be off. Okay, so let's work out. So where's the contact position? I'm going to play this. There we go. And let's work it out. So I'm going to count. So the contact position is essentially, well, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 frames from that position to that position again. Okay, so that is the contact. Now, depending on when you do this, when you look at these, you may have different, the horses run at slightly different rates. So you might have 17 frames, you might have 15. We'll just go with this, which is 15. Okay, so we're going to go with 15. I will go in and put in 15 here. 15. So that's the amount of frames that we have. Oops, 15. Right, 15. Now, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to animate this foot. And I'm not really going to deal with anything else. So just this foot. Let me see. So first frame is, well, it's pretty much where it is already. So I'll key there first. And I'll go to 15 and I'm going to key there as well. So that's first and last. I'm going to move forward by 1 frame. Well, 2 frames. Let's go forward. 1, 2, and the second frame, that is, if I look at this, it's kind of almost under the middle of the horse, so I'll pull this back to about here. Now you can see that the leg is beginning to come off the ground, so that means I'm going to turn on the stretchy. I'm just going to, it's keyed presently, I'm going to break the connections on that, and I'm going to put that on 6. I'll put it on 7 actually. 7. Okay, 7. Okay, so we've got that to... Oop, sorry, one thing I forgot to do, of course, which is rather silly. Or did I? No, I've done it. So this is going to there. Now, what I forgot to do is I forgot to copy this first frame. I should have just keyed it. So the first and last frame are the same. You can just key them twice. And this is frame number 3 that I should have moved this back to, and I forgot. Frame number 3. So it moves back like this. I might make this on 8 actually. 8. Okay, so there we go. Frame number 3 is that. And let me see, going forward. 1. Oops. So let's go back again. So 1, 2. Oh, sorry, my quick time isn't moved. 1, 2. One more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, it's still kind of on the ground, going backwards very fast. So it's still kind of moving backwards. I can adjust this in a bit. If I look at my timeline, should be, and these of course should be straight lines because I'm going to have this moving at constant speed. So I'll make it a straight line here, and yeah, something like that. Okay, so they go that, and then I'll go forward in 2s. 1, for some reason 1, 2. So go forward in 2. So 2 is to 6. So I'm going to take that like this. and move it forward like this. Now here's an interesting thing. I can get the roll and the foot in different ways. But the important thing is to stick to the way that you decide. If I choose this, I can get the roll and the foot like this. Yeah. Or I could simply just rotate this. Just give me a certain kind of roll. What I'm going to try on this occasion, I'm going to use this control for the roll. So I'm going to use this. Just try and be consistent with the ones that you use. I use this. And no, I think I'll use this. I'll use the main control. Okay, so I'm just going to use the main control on this. I'm going to move it like this. Now, the only problem with doing that is, of course, I would need to have keyed this off at, because I've gone and added this roll that wasn't on it before. So I'd have to go make sure that this, and also the height, so that these things are keyed off. Because otherwise, if I just go and move my thing, and I'm not keying as I go, what happens is, if I just move that up there, then of course, because I've keyed this all at 0 at frame number 1, it will, without this extra key here, it will just start moving it up. It will interpolate between 1 and 6, which is not what I want. I want the foot on the ground here, and I can change. I'm going to move the body so the foot won't be coming off the ground. So here we go, like this, and again, I'm just sticking with the main control. Make sure it's on world. I'm not bothering with anything else as yet. Oops, make sure I'm on 6. Always make sure you're on the right key. So there. So I've got that. And then go forward 2 frames. Oops, 1, 2. And the next one, so that's 8. So we've got this kind of thing going on. Foot's still quite high up, like this. And I can make some more adjustments to this later. So you got this. Keying on all those channels, so you got that. And oops, this is even more turned up this way. There we go. So really the foot is like that. Yeah. Okay. And then 2 more frames again. 1, 2. And that takes me to 10. And I can see that here it is like this. Like this. Just trying to match up the shapes. This is maybe a little bit more like this. Drop that down a bit. I mean, the physiognomy of this horse is not exactly the same, but trying to get it close. So we got that. And then I go 2 frames along. 1, 1, 2. Oh god, hang on. QuickTime's not working so well. Hang on, what was that? 1. Here we go. Sometimes you have to go back. It's the only problem. The QuickTime normally, not all the clips does it play. I know the foot comes off the ground at 4. So, sorry, 5. So if I count forward, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 looks like that. So I'm going to 12 now, and that's kind of like this. Something like that. Maybe like that. Yeah, 12, something like that. Okay. And then we've got 13, 14. So 14, the leg is essentially stretched out. 12, yeah, 12. 14 is essentially the leg stretched out here. be bent up. 14. Which makes me think I might be one short in this. Maybe I should really do 16 frames. So maybe I need to pull this one up. And normally you would do this in odd numbers because it gives you a good midpoint. I seem to count 15, and now let's see, and now I seem to be counting 16. I think this is a little bit more like this, and then I'll copy this and paste this here. Let's see what this looks like. So then we have this. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so anyway, so we got something like that. So that's the first bit. Yeah, and we can always adjust this later and get it looking a bit better. So I'm going to put some of the movement onto the pelvis. So let's go through. We'll go back again. So we're on the same bit of the cycle. And what I can see, going back, is a horse is at its lowest point there when the feet are like this, and it's at its highest point. If I look at how much it's coming off the ground, it would appear to be at its highest point about here, where all the feet are off the ground. So you know, this bit here. So it's kind of like when this foot is stretched back here, I'm going to drop this down. When it's foot's like this is lowest down then. And I can alter the keys in this. So there. So this is when it's at its lowest. And it seems to be approximately at its highest, somewhere around here. So this would, this would seem to be where it's at its highest. Something around here. So we got that. Okay, so 4. And then it drops. Let's see what it's like in the contact position. It's dropping down for the contact position. And I'll copy that and paste that here. But it's at its lowest there. Now I'm going to have a quick look at what this looks like. Curves pre-infinity cycle, curves post-infinity cycle. I'll have a look. View infinity. So I'm going to just adjust this slightly. Move that like that. Right, so we've got that. Something like this. Might not be perfect, so we've got coming down. Anyway, we'll leave that as it is. It's just to get some movement onto the body. So we've got some up and down motion, something like this. Okay. Now this can also be tweaked. For example, what I tend to use the big controls first, and then tweak everything. But just be careful which ones you use, and remember which ones you use. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to key this control and this control, so they're off here. Now these come back to about here. That's fine. And here, let's see, we probably want this coming forward a bit. See what happens when the foot is on the ground. It's hard to see with all this fur. Okay, there's that bit where it's just feels like it's coming forward. So okay, I'm going to turn. I've also got this control too, which I can use. I think I'm going to push this down a little bit further. Just a little bit further. I may have to extend this. Now you can see that the leg is bending here, but I can adjust that. Okay, so we've got this. It comes off the ground. I'm going to zero this out. Oops. Like this. Sorry. And then I'm going to twist this back a bit like this. Okay, so we've got this going on. So we've got that, that, and that. Okay. And I can always adjust this. And that. And I'm going to make sure that this is... The problem with using the tweakers is you have to remember to turn them off when you've finished using them so that they don't start messing up the rest of your animation, giving you weird deformations that you don't want. Because if you leave them on, as I did there, you're getting some strange twisting. So just on for when you need it, and then take it off again. Okay. Right, so let's leave that there like that. I can always come back in and adjust the feet, get the shapes better. I can see I'm probably going to need this as well, you know, to kind of twist that up even more in places. But I'm going to leave that now. I'm just going to get the legs working. So this is the first bit. I've got this, and now I'm just going to... this is all looping. Well, I thought it was. Let's just loop it. So I've got